I forgot to do your thing. Alright, cool. Cool. Ooh. Alright, 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 alright. I think we're done with the outbreak, actually. Well, then in that case, hello everyone, how's it going? It's time for your regularly scheduled Pokemon. That's right, Thursday and Fridays are guaranteed streaming days for me. It's Saturdays and Sundays. It's one of those two. I'm pretty much just vibes. But let us get to the game. So I have indeed replaced chat with a Pokedex tracker. So let us start off with opening up a very important document that I forgot to open up before stream. I forgot what I called it. There we go. Found it. So we are going to start off by doing some flyaway glitching. Because we can take care of 2 of those actually right now. So if I recall correctly, we're gonna want to deposit a Pokemon, probably a neat TP right now. Because we're not gonna go after Pokemon in the water at the moment. Let's see. What do we have? Special of 21? Of 20 rather. That's not quite what we need. Special of 21. Okay. Well, there's an option there. Special of 15. That misses what we need by 1. Special of 13 misses what we need by 1. Special of 17. Special of 10. $23. That's where we have one that has a special of... Hold on, it's... someone down here, isn't it? 15... I think that's actually Pinsir. Yeah, there we go. Special 14, that's what we need. Okay, let's go Flyaway Glitch. Just immediately starting off with this. Gonna hit that fat save. I guess that's steady save, really. Alright. Going to fly right on over to Fuchsia. Don't know who I have in the lead here. It's fine. So we've already fought that trainer and that trainer. And this trainer. I think we've already fought this trainer? Yeah. But this one's next. Ah, beauty. With a Bulbasaur? Oh, very nice Pokemon to lead off with here. Lagan is gonna do wonders here. One shot, baby! It's just a Bulbasaur, it's not that big of a deal. Ivysaur, however, is a little bit more interesting. Decent special stat. I think we're actually probably better off staying with Lagan. We have a Leer into flight? Nope. If we get a critical hit, we don't need to worry about dropping defense. Awesome. Okay, and now we find a Ditto. We are at some point going to have to dip back into the game corner and pick up the self scope. Because there are several Pokemon in Navigator Tower that we need to catch. By several, I mean 2. Purely just 2. There's our Ditto. Okay, we switch into Pinsir here. Switch back into Lagan. That did a lot of damage. We're gonna find it.
Shirt that really screams. He's coming!
Mango with a fat raid. Thank you very much, buddy. I would ask how did your Pokemon Red Nuzlocke go, but I was there for all of it. For most of it, at least. But how did the fight with Surge go? I did leave before that fight. Alright, it is time to catch our first Pokemon of the stream. Is there actually a one-shot Pepe? Oh no! Poor Pepe! Gonna put the Gengar to sleep here. Gonna put the Gengar to sleep here. That sucks, dude! Is Pepe the only Pokemon that went down though? I forgot to do a thing. Oh no, I didn't. Never mind. 2 deaths today. Oh no! Oh my gosh, stay asleep for more than 1 turn. Maybe one-shot both of his first Pokemon, then got one-shot himself. Well, as long as Pepe didn't go down without a fight. Come on, Cappy, I need you to snap out of it. Stop hitting yourself! There we go. Oh my god, this Gengar is being the most obnoxious. Oh, and actually it still has hits, pretty no. I am indeed catching them all. Starting off with Gengar here, because I'm too lazy to evolve one. And also, I don't have the Self-Scope yet, so I can't go catch a Ghastly. I mean, I should actually use Rad a little bit here. Oh my god, stop waking up! What is this bad luck I have going on right now? Game? The instant wake-ups are wild. I have nothing on me to weaken this Gengar, so I'm really just relying on this luck here. There we go, finally caught Gengar. Awesome. And this is why I have the tracker. We'll just find Gengar and mark it off. Gengar, the shadow Pokemon. Under a full moon, this Pokemon likes to mimic the shadows of people and laugh at their fright. Not nicknaming the Gengar quite yet. Alright. It's a nice, simple first Pokemon to catch there. The wonderful thing is, I'm not going to be catching every single stage of Pokemon. Like, the only reason why I'm catching Gengar right now, like, honestly, out of all these, the only ones that I'm catching the evolutions of are going to be Gengar, Golem, Machamp. No, not 11 decks. No point in that. Gengar, Golem, Machamp, Alakazam. Everything else I'm catching as is. I'm catching the base form of, and then evolving up. I think what I'm going to do, I don't think I'm going to bother like completing the Pokedex in Pokemon Yellow. I think I'm just going to do that for like the first game in each generation I do. I might do that for remakes as well. Like if the remake I play, I may also try and complete the Pokedex in that. We'll see. I've not figured that out yet. I don't need to yet. Positive Pinsir. Thank you, Pinsir, for allowing us to catch Gengar. Let's check out the Gengar. Special 25. Okay. What are we catching next? I don't have any other special stats to really work with at the moment for the special Pokemon that we're going for. The next one I need is 77. Cappy has surpassed that by 11 points. Echo is not there yet. Brosif isn't there yet. Venus, not there quite yet. Megon definitely isn't there yet. Okay. I don't think I need TP is there yet either. Withdraw. I need TP. Except, hold on, right. I was gonna do shenanigans here. I can potentially get a neat TP up to the point where I can get the next Pokemon I need. I just need to go to Celadon. Yeah, Kebi also surpasses getting Vulpix right now as well. Which one of these guys sells protein? Not that guy, it's not this guy. Not that guy, it's not this guy. Means it's this guy. One of these guys. Yes. Calcium is what I need. So we're gonna sell a bunch of nuggets. That's why we have them. Hold on. Actually, let's see what going down here. Cool, awesome. Let's buy 10 calcium, just be on the safe side here. We're gonna move the calcium up. Okay. If I recall correctly, in order for this to actually work out the way I want it to, it's one of two things. I forget which one it is, but we're gonna go to. It's gonna require a Pokemon Center either way. So I forget if it's healing at a Pokemon Center or depositing a Pokemon changes the stat after using an item immediately. So we're gonna save. Item calcium use on a neat TP. Special rose. Let's check and see if it actually did right now. Special of 80. That surpassed what we need. Okay, so how much does a calcium increase it by in Gen 1? Actually gonna hold on, I can do this. There we go, I am smart. Let's see, in Generation 1, that's huh. Here we go. It adds 2,560 to your special stat experience. Okay, so that's gonna be way too much then. So I need to take down Pokemon that have that gives, well, any Pokemon really. So I need to take down enough Pokemon to raise its special stat of. So how does a stat determined? There you go. Formula generations 1 and 2. Base plus DV times 2. So how much for? $128. Okay, and that's for what? Special. Oh no, that's math I gotta do! I think we're just gonna be knocking out Pokemon. This is gonna be a very slow process. An incredibly slow process at that. I think I'm gonna knock out. Okay, so let's see. If 2,560 EVs gives me +2, half that should give me +1. So let's do some maths here. 1,280. Okay, that's the number we're looking for. So let's find a Pokemon that I can knock out to give me enough stats, enough EVs, and the special stat for that. Maybe a Growlithe? Attack, defense, special. No. I mean, I think we're knocking out a decent amount of Pokemon anyway. Pondering. You know, I could just add up until, yeah. I'll do that. And we have an Oddish. That's gonna give 75. Except I'm not actually gonna battle this Oddish, I don't think. Yeah, no. We want Pokemon I can actually take down fairly easily, and Oddish is gonna take a little bit. Maybe I should go to a different route. Rock Tunnel wouldn't be a terrible. It's not a great idea. No Pokemon there is gonna have a decent special stat. I'm trying to think of where would be a good place to go. Pokemon Mansion, maybe? But I also run the risk of just leveling up pretty quickly there. Maybe I just grind a little bit around Radiant Forest. There are Pokemon I need to catch here, so I might as well just go ahead and, while I'm here, getting EVs on my Tentacool, I can go on ahead and just catch Pokemon as well. Yeah, why not? We have Rattata here. Rattata has a special stat of 25. Okay. Guess we need to catch it, so we're actually not gonna... Yeah, because we don't have a Rattata yet, right? Right, okay. Oh no. What do you mean? You are a rat. How did you avoid being caught by an Ultra Ball? I mean, I know vaguely how, but it's ridiculous. We're gonna show something very funny right here. I think I have a Pokeball, just a regular Pokeball, right? Yes. This should catch. Okay, I was incorrect. I believe the catch rate, whether or not a Pokemon gets caught is actually based off of partially the Pokeball you're using, but also partially how much damage is taken. Like, sure, it's true in any Pokemon game. The more damage a Pokemon is taken, the more likely it is to get caught. But oh my gosh, is it ever true in this? Sometimes it's just impossible to catch a Pokemon without weakening it. But we now have a rat. And that's right, a rat I can take down. I was gonna laugh that didn't actually take it down. Okay. I think there's at least one other Pokemon I can catch on this route. Yep, and that's it. Do I have Pidgey? I don't have a Pidgey yet. Ah! My box is full. We're knocking out a Pidgey. Which is a special of 35. Okay, I need to go change boxes so I can catch more Pokemon. Oh! There's actually another Pokemon I need to put on the list. Because I can't catch it. Oh, let me go ahead and put that on the list really quick. List of Pokemon by index number version 1. Okay. Not what I needed to do, but I guess I can check and see if that changed my stat. Spell special of 76. Change box. Box 2. We're going to deposit and withdraw a neat TP to see if that did anything. Oh, it's putting it in the box and taking it out. Cool, we have a special of 77 now, which means we can go catch our next Pokemon. Awesome. Switch with Flagon. Actually, hold on a moment. We're gonna switch with, actually work on Venus a little bit. Let's put Venus in the front here. Okay. I'm gonna do another save. Fly back to Fuchsia. You know, I actually probably could get a couple more Pokemon really quick. We'll see. A couple more Pokemon using this glitch really quick, I should clarify. That one's been battled, this one's been battled, that one's been battled, both of theirs have been battled. This one's not been battled yet. Hypersynthetic coughing. Actually not great for Venus. We're gonna switch out immediately. Into Lagan maybe? No, I think Cappy. Just make this nice and simple. Oh, I should actually switch into Ego. Maybe I'll do that on the next one. And the switch in. Okay, we're done with the calculator. We don't need that. Armor comes out next. Oh, Ego's also level 33. I need. Oh, great. We'll put in Lagan. Wheezing, we are going to bring Cappy back out. With any luck, if Cappy gets another level up, it will bring it, them up to a special stat of 90. But we will have to see about that. Okay. Oh, there's so many trainers on this route. I need to switch back into Lagan on the lead. Yeah, the interesting thing about Ivysaur, about the Bulbasaur line in general, is that like it's terrible for any battle that is not a gym battle, basically. Yeah, because most of the Pokemon you're going to encounter in your journey are flying types, poison types, grass types, water types, bug types. The only thing is doubly bad, if you're encountering a grass type Pokemon in Gen 1, there's only one in the entire game that's not part poison. Which means Ivysaur just does nothing against them. There we go. There's our Ditto. Switch into a neat TP. Give it transform off. Wonderful. We're going to switch into Cappy to deal with this. That's fine. We can tank that. It's faster than me. That's kind of funny. Okay. We have our last Pokemon set to what we want it to be set to. We fly back to Cerulean. Make sure Cappy is in the lead once again. I'm starting to consider seriously trying to catch a Parasect in the Safari Zone. Just for Spore and weak damaging moves. Now that I'm gonna need a weak damaging move for much longer. Well. Huh? Well, that's weird. Haven't had that happen before. Yes, fun fact, Meowth is a version exclusive to Blue. Okay. Let's mark Meowth off on the tracker. Boop. Alright, I'm gonna do a save right here. And we're gonna see if, one, we can use a calcium on Cappy here, and two, okay, we can, if it bumps it up to 90. 89. Let's use another one. $90. Okay, we can get another Pokemon. So we once again save for this entire process all over again. Let's move Lagon to the front. I think I'll fly over to... Yeah, I'll just fly around a little bit. Let's fly to Lavender. There's still some trainers over here that can fight. Who I believe will actually walk up to me. I believe I fought this trainer already. Yep. I think I fought this one. I think there's one up here I haven't fought. Yep, haven't fought this one. Super nerd. Why do you have a coughing? You know what? It's fine. We didn't have Venus out. So we don't have to worry about an incredibly slow battle. Just a kind of slow battle. There we go. Flying to Fuchsia, so we can go encounter a Ditto. The mighty annoying thing here is that the Pokemon that we're using is Cappy, and Cappy is one of our stronger Pokemon. Like, being a Psychic type means it's gonna hit pretty hard, especially with a special stat of 115 at base. It has the highest special stat in our team. What's the defense stat looking like? Defensive 61. I think that's relatively decent. Venus has defensive 46. Rose has defensive 89. Yeah, so we might use Ego to take down the Ditto once it transforms. That might be our best bet. It just occurred to me that I have the opportunity to do something incredibly funny in Generation 2 when we get there. And I'm gonna do it. Alright, so here's the question I'm going to pose, and I don't know if anyone's going to answer this question. All the Pokemon you get purely from trades, Farfetch'd, Jinx, Mr. Mime. Do I also catch those with this glitch? I'm kind of tempted to. And my controller stopped working for a moment there. Why? There we go, fixed it. I mean, I think it's only, what, 3 more Pokemon? Farfetch'd, Jinx, Mr. Mime? As the owner, hello? Don't know what's going on with my controller, but okay. It's only 3 more, and I don't think they're terribly difficult to get. Let's find out. 4, 42, 72. Yeah, no, they're pretty easy to get actually. I'm sorry, did my A and B buttons get switched there? Is that what's going on? Yeah, okay. There we go, there's our Ditto. We need to switch into Cappy here. Cool. Switch into Ego, so we can easily take down this Ditto now. Yeah, just strength. Good, hypnosis missed. Right. Which Cappy in the lead. Fly back to Cerulean. And we are about to cross another Pokemon off on the list. Yeah, I think because they're fairly easy to get to, I might go on ahead and just catch the trade-only Pokemon. Like, it's only 3 of them. They're fairly easy to get to. Might as well. Oh, don't be waking up. Don't do the frame 1 wake ups. That's annoying. I get more Ultra Balls. There we go. Kabuto was caught. I have a very funny nickname for this Kabuto actually, so we are gonna nickname it I-A-K-U-S-I. Yakushi. Alright. That's another Pokemon crossed off on the list. Gonna hit that save. Let's see. I think that's the last close one we have right now. Sandshrews a few levels away with Cappy. Vulpix we might can get. Yeah, Cappy was what got us Kabuto. Brosif isn't anywhere nearby. That's 42. Venus probably with a level up might can, or with evolving. A neat TP. 77. And then I got an Ego not nearby either. Yeah. Okay. So let's see. I think at this point I'm just gonna go around and catch Pokemon. So let's start off with the last Pokemon in the Safari Zone that I absolutely need to catch. Well, one of the last ones. No, this isn't too far. This is exactly where I need to go. Yes. Okay. I'm gonna move my Super Rod back to the top here. And then resave. What? Up. I pressed B. Alright. So step 1, we need to encounter the Pokemon. 1 in 4 chance. Can I beat the Pokemons? The Pokemons be alright. We've caught some very interesting Pokemon already. In fact, the start of the show has been catching almost exclusively nothing but interesting Pokemon. I did also catch a Rattata, which... But I caught a Gengar, I caught a Kabuto, I caught... what else did I catch? A Meowth. Like, if you look at the tracker, you can see some Funkalicious stuff going on there. Last room I got a Magmar and a Pinsir. Gengar. I think it up in early gens because you never had anyone to trade with, so you always wanted one. Gengar honestly didn't get... Gengar is strong, don't get me wrong. It has a base special stat of 130, which in Gen 2 is special attack stat. Very nice. But with Shadow Ball not existing until Generation 2, didn't really have a stab move to use at all. Like, the only stab move it gets in Generation 1 is Lick. And that's about it. Which is only base 20 power. It also doesn't help the fact that Ghost is physical until Gen 4. With the physical special split. So Shadow Ball, despite being stabbed, is utilizing its not so great special stat. Didn't care about how strong it was, you just really want to win. I mean, Gengar's a really cool Pokemon. It's one of my favorite Pokemon, don't get me wrong. And it gets all like pretty strong even in Generation 1. It gets access to Psychic and Thunderbolts. There we go, that's what we're looking for. It's Psychic, Thunderbolts, Thunder, Nightshade, Toxic. Fun fact, Explosion from Gengar actually knocks out Alakazam. Assuming that Alakazam is not HP or defense invested. And yes, we're catching a Dratini. I'm surprised it's not running away. Also, I really wanted to get caught. Am I really gonna waste all my Safari Balls on one Dratini? Well, there's half of them already. It's red and blue. Where's Lance? Where Lance is the illegal Dragonite? No, that's the Johto region. Where he has not one but two illegal Dragonite at least. There we go, we got Dratini, let's go! Gonna mark that off. That's a big one to get. Because if I didn't catch it right here, I'd have to go get it from gambling. Game Corner. I'm gonna pull up a Safari Zone really quick and see which area has the next Pokemon we're looking for. Which I might do some shenanigans. Let's see. Safari Zone 1. Okay, Area 1, not gonna worry about that. Area 2, I think I do need to worry about. Yes, Area 2 has another Pokemon we need. One of the two Pokemon I actually do need to catch in the Safari Zone. Like all the Pokemon in the Safari Zone, the two that I'm most worried about are at this point are Kangaskhan and Chansey.
I know you don't care, but Palworld 1.0 is real. We fucking balling.
Well, hi, Edis. I don't care about Pal World myself, but I do care about the excitement for my friends. Yes, fun fact, so if I'm in my voice chat, people can just pop in. You're fully aware that I care about the excitement for my friends? You're super excited, I get that. I actually still haven't watched day 1 of Summer Game Fest. Ah, excuse me. Yeah, people can just pop in. Eunice does it like frequently, actually. He spooked me yesterday. Eunice straight just spooked me yesterday. We are about to hit an ad break, actually, so I should probably go ahead and BRB. So I think I shall once I run away here, so I will be back after the ad break. Thank you guys for sticking around during the ad break. Ah. Alright, seems like we are back. So let's pause music, turn the in-game music back on, and get back to our catching them all. We are looking for Kangaskhan.
But yeah, Mr. Zorum, I just play the role of random encounter. It is so much fun.
This is true. He does. And if anyone's in my voice chat server, they're welcome to pop in at any moment. Especially for streams like this, where I'm just sitting down and not really focusing on stories so much, or playing through the game, and I'm just hunting down Pokemon. I haven't done any shiny hunts in a moment, but especially for shiny hunting, because I'm down to talk, like, for stuff like this, talk about anything else. I don't mind. In fact, if someone wants to pop in and we can talk about Summer Game Fest and what we're showing off today, I haven't seen it. Gotta go back to work. Alright, thanks for swinging by, Yudis. Always appreciate you. Enjoy the, what is it, 100-day streak now? 100 stream streak? 93. Close. One more week, 2 more weeks, and then you'll have 100.
I'm always watching, Wazowski. Always watch.
It's terrifying how accurate you are with that impression. I should try. No, we're gonna use the rest of our Pokeballs to try and catch Kangaskhan. I'm sticking to that. Ross is a very fun voice to do, though. Oh, I believe it. I want to point out, Nidoran females have 5% encounter, and I've seen 3 already. It's true, I'm catching one of them right now. I'm gonna try and catch one of them right now. Yeah, we are realistically not gonna have many chances to catch Kangaskhan when it pops up. It's probably gonna run away like 1 or 2 balls later. I think I'll save the 4 balls for Kangaskhan here. Well, then it ran away before I did. Alright, so we're gonna hard focus on Kangaskhan here. It's a 4% encounter. The game is ridiculous. That's a Parasect. That's another 5% encounter. I swear, if I found a Scyther before I found a Kangaskhan. The roles and girls are for the Pokemon Generation Challenge. The baseline of the challenge is we are playing through every set of Pokemon games and accounting a set as the base for that generation and any upgrades and remakes. So a set for example, Generation 1, I'm playing through Pokemon Red right now, and I'm gonna play through Pokemon Yellow, not touching Pokemon Blue. Well, not touching Pokemon Blue on the channel. So it's red or blue and yellow, into its gold or silver and crystal. Then 3, it's ruby or sapphire and emerald and Fire Red or Leaf Green. So playing through all those games. And the other challenge is you cannot have the same Pokemon on your team, on the team that you use when you beat the when you beat the game. I'm gonna phrase it like that. The reason why I'm phrasing it as when you beat the game is because of purity. Pokemon Black and White. Which for Pokemon Black and White, you can modify the role a little bit there, however you want. Because there's exceptions. There's literally exceptions to every single rule, depending on how you want to go about doing it. But the baseline is you play through the games in release order, so red or blue, then yellow, gold or silver, then crystal, ruby or sapphire, then emerald, then fire red or leaf green. Actually, it might be fire red or leaf green, then emerald. I have the order somewhere. We'll get to it Gen 3 when we get to Gen 3. The team that I currently have. Let me show it off real quick. So the team I currently have is the team I'm planning on having when I beat the game. Fully evolved, of course. So I have a Hypno, a Graveler that I will evolve into a Golem by the end of the game, an Ivysaur that I'm clearly planning on evolving into a Venusaur, a Tentacool that I plan on evolving into a Tentacruel, a Fearow, and a Tauros. So these 6 Pokemon I cannot use in future games. Asterisk. The asterisk is really with Tauros here, because one exception I'm planning, one potential exception I have is regional variants can count as a new Pokemon for the challenge, because the regional variants function differently, more or less. Whether it be different typing, well, usually it's going to be different typing, as well as sometimes different stats. A good example of different typing and different stats is Alolan Executor. If I wanted to use an Executor in this game, or in Pokemon Yellow, I can't use Executor in any other game unless I use Alolan Executor later on. Basically just no 2 of the same Pokemon across different teams. Yeah, play the games in release order, no 2 Pokemon on the same team. That's breaking down the rules very basically. And a team is whatever the team you have is when you get to the credits. Yes, it does indeed force you to try out different teams, and because I'm including, so it's not really a huge focus on the teams itself. It's more so exploring the generations of Pokemon and playing through the games like in release order. And I want to exemplify the spirit of the challenge even further by showing off as much shenanigans as possible. That's what I'm personally doing. So on top of all the games I just mentioned, red or blue and yellow, gold and silver, or gold or silver and crystal, I'm also throwing in Stadium, Stadium 2, Coliseum, Exega of Darkness, and Pokemon Battle Revolution, 5 additional games that are tied to the Generation Challenge but have their own subset of rules, because if I don't have them separate from the main rules, it's gonna get kind of weird and freaky and too much thinking. The point that I want to try and do here is just show off stuff. One thing I want to show off, and it's part of the reason why I'm including Pokemon Stadium, is I want to show off fun stuff with Pokemon Stadium, and I'm gonna get to that before we get to the end of Pokemon Red. Probably either. It's definitely not going to be today. I don't have what I need to do that. So either Sunday or sometime next week. Because I'm sure that there are people who haven't done everything in Pokemon Stadium or Stadium 2. Stadium 2, I'm really excited to show off one thing in particular with. There's a Kangaskhan, let's go! Okay. We encountered it. We need to catch it. We didn't catch it. But you gotta play more Pokemon Stadium as a kid. You didn't have an N64. Oh. I got my N64 when I was in, I think it was either middle school or high school, like early high school. And there are actually still games I want to pick up for the N64 that I don't have. I don't have Super Mario 64 of my N64. I don't even have Ocarina of Time. I have Majora's Mask though, because of course I do. But I don't have the two other staples. The two other games are like, this is the N64. I would love to get them though. As well as the first 3 Mario parties. Because, so in order for me to actually do what I want to do with Pokemon Red for the Pokemon Stadium, I'm gonna have to get another N64 controller and another game pack. And another N64 controller would mean I will have 4 N64 controllers. I can have 3 other people here, and we all play Mario Party. Or Mario Kart. I also want to get Mario Kart. I actually didn't get Pokemon Stadium 2 until after I graduated high school sometime. Ooh, right. Pondering. I'm thinking. So there are several projects I want to get going, and I may actually drop my Monday streams for a little bit, so I have an additional day to do stuff, which means I'll be streaming for 4 days instead of 5, which is fine. It's fine. Monday streams. I really don't have anything planned for Monday streams at the moment. Like, I don't have any fun videos to go over. I don't have any like tier lists I want to do. You know, I'm gonna do a tiny little thing really quick. Oh, okay, so hold on, okay. The brain is gonna get so big right now. Because I just had an idea. Hold on. Alright, the brain is massive. So I'm looking at the level up set for Kangaskhan. Kangaskhan's level up moveset is when you catch it, it just has Comet Punch and Rage. And then it gets Bites. How fast is Kangaskhan? 90 speed, that actually isn't too bad, I'm not gonna lie. Hold on, let me look at competitive movesets for Kangaskhan on Gen 1. Let's see. Dex. Red and blue. Because depending on what this moveset looks like, Body Slam, Hyper Beam, Earthquake, Blizzard, or Counter. All of those are moves. Sure. None of those moves against via level up. So hold on. That's not where the idea goes. That's not where the idea goes at all. Okay, so let me think for a moment here. Okay, new plan. The brain has the brain light. What Pokemon has the lowest special stat in the game? It is a three-way tie, baby. A three-way tie between Caterpie, Weedle, Magikarp. Alright then. So, we are going to do something. We're going to look at another Pokemon really quick. Although I don't think it's going to work, so never mind. We're just going to... Okay, so... Okay, so let me talk this through. So, the main glitch I'm using to catch the Pokemon that I normally cannot catch in the game. For example, Gengar. I have a Gengar, but I don't have Ghastly or Haunter in my Pokedex. I caught a Magmar and a Pinsir, despite the fact that I can't catch him in Pokemon Red, normally. I caught a Kabuto, despite the fact that you can't catch that. And also, I have the Helix fossil. I've been using the Flyaway glitch to let me catch Pokemon I normally cannot catch. And the way that works is the last Pokemon that you fought, it looks at their special stat and uses that number to look through the Pokemon listed by index number, and that's what the deciding factor of what Pokemon you encounter when you go back to the route where you flew away from. For Kangaskhan, its index number is straight up just 2. Which means in order to encounter Kangaskhan, I would need a Pokemon with a special stat of 2 as the last Pokemon I fought. Which is not easy. But I think might be possible with some shenanigans. The only issue is out of the three Pokemon I mentioned, Caterpie, Weedle, Magikarp, the earliest one on that list, and the index number list, is Weedle. And the reason why that's important is because you can use this glitch. So what I would do is when I go to the Ditto portion of the glitch, so I would fly away, battle trainer, encounter a Ditto. I would need the Pokemon that the Ditto transforms into have a special stat of 112, which I'm not at yet. My highest is 90. A special stat of 112. And then I use Growl 6 times on that Pokemon. And then knock it out. Then I fly back to the route that I flew away from, in this case, Cerulean, and go north. And the Pokemon I encounter there would be a level 1 Weedle, which should not be possible. The lowest level Pokemon you can encounter in Generation 1 is level 2. So in theory, that Weedle should have a special stat of hopefully 2. Hopefully 2. Before I go through that whole trouble, let me see if that's even possible. Where's game mechanics? There it is. IV calculator. Weedle. Neutral nature, I guess. Level 1. No, I'm just gonna put in 10 for everything. No, wait, hold on. Which of Weedle's stats becomes 20 in the special split in Gen 2? That's important information. Both. Okay, cool. The lowest it is, it's 5 at lowest. The lowest stats you can have is 115556. Or 115565. Okay, yeah, no, okay. There's nothing I can do. I tried so hard. I tried so hard to see if I could avoid having to catch Kangaskhan this way, and I cannot. I straight up cannot. Congratulations, Safari Zone, you have broken me. I tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it didn't even matter. Actually, the nerf is, it doesn't even matter, does it? Yeah. It's been a minute since I've listened to Linkin Park. Ooh, maybe that's what I should go get next time I go to the CD shop. Ooh, there's actually 2 shops I can go to that sell CDs. Ooh. God, I can't believe Kangaskhan. Literally, the only Pokemon you have to catch in the Safari Zone is Kangaskhan. Every other Pokemon you can get either Virginia, you can get from the Game Corner, Scyther, Game Corner, Pinsir, Game Corner, Chansey, you can do the shenanigans I was just going through. Tauros, same thing. Like, the index number for Tauros is 60. Easily doable. In fact, I was primed to go catch Tauros using the flyway glitch. Chansey is 40. I was probably to do that before I actually wound up catching my Tauros. But the fact that Kangaskhan, so okay, given the fact, speaking of Kangaskhan, hi Kangaskhan, how you doing? Please get caught. Nope. It ran. So given the fact that the lowest special stat you can have on a Pokemon is 5, the 4 Pokemon you cannot catch using the flyaway glitch are Rhydon, Kangaskhan, Nidoran, and Clefairy. Which is interesting. The very first Pokemon you can catch with the flyaway glitch is Spearow. And realistically, the only one of those that you really have to worry about is Kangaskhan. Rhyhorn you can find in the Safari Zone. It's not a rare encounter. You can find it fairly often. Nidoran is so easy to find. Clefairy, the fact that it's not in the Safari Zone is what makes it not that bad to catch. And it's a 6% encounter rates at best in Mount Moon. At worst, it's 1%. But if you know where to look, it's not that bad. That's very interesting. That's something I actually did not know because I never bothered to sit down and piece that together. We're learning. I've learned many things this playthrough. Hold on, I need to write this down. I need to write this down somewhere. Okay. I'm very tempted to when I'm finished with this Pokemon Generations challenge, I'm really tempted to do a big old Pokemon quiz show full of a bunch of trivia that I learned throughout the entire journey. Because I think that would be fun. It would be a wonderful idea. I have one person in particular in mind that I would bring on to that. Two people, actually. I would just need a third. Another massive Pokemon head. Or I could do the funniest thing and bring in Justin. Justin would be awesome when I see him try and answer Pokemon trivia. I think the way I would do it is, I don't think I would do Jeopardy style again. I think in order for it to be more fair for Justin, everyone has to be able to answer. So I might just do straight up like trivia and people DM me their answers. Yeah, I think that would be the best way to encourage someone who's not the Pokemon head to join in anyway. That way, like, you don't have people like, for example, if Justin's first person started off choosing a Jeopardy style question, he can still have a chance to answer and not get the point stolen away by someone else. So some of the questions that I'm gonna put in, they are gonna be head scratchers, that's for sure. Yeah, with that in mind, I might just do the flyaway glitch for Chansey, seeing how long Kangaskhan's taking me right now. And this is the second Pokemon I'm doing this for. The first Pokemon was actually Tauros. Tauros, Scyther, Chansey. Hi, one-person encounter. How you doing? But could you imagine? You just say the Pokemon's name and they pop up. So can I get a Kangaskhan right about now? Like maybe a Kangaskhan right here? No? How about... Game? Can I get an encounter? There we go. Maybe it's a Kangaskhan. No, okay. I tried. But yes, Kangaskhan, Tauros, Chansey, Scyther, / Pinsir. Because they're version exclusives. Those are the 4 Pokemon that are very interesting. They all appear in 2 areas of the Safari Zone. In one area, they have a 1-person encounter. And in another, they have a 4% encounter. In the areas where they have a 1% encounter, they are found at higher levels. I think 4 levels higher exactly. So, Kangaskhan in this area I'm in right now has a 4% chance of being encountered, and you found it at level 24 and only level 24. In the area of the Safari Zone where you find Kangaskhan at 1%, it's level 28. So, I could probably make that a multiple choice question. But even then, like, so all those Pokemon you can just roll out as is because they're found. You can get in the game corner. The other three are the tricky. It would be the tricky bit. Oh, there's a question I kind of sort of want to throw in. I just don't know how I would want to word it exactly. Actually, no, I know how to word it. Can I please type? There we go. Although that's not really video game related. Oh fuck, I'm gonna throw in bonus questions. It's still Pokemon, but it's not necessarily video game related. Or it's not related to the games I played for the Generations Challenge. Oh, that would. I don't know. Really? Again? I'm saving my money despite the fact that I don't need to save my money. I have too much money right now. No, I think at this point I'm not even going to bother with soft resetting to save money. It's only 500 Poké Dollars and I have nuggets for days. How much money are we talking? I hit the cap. That much money. 6 digits. God, Kangaskhan is gonna be the death of me. It's the only Pokemon I need to... I'd be penny pinching when I'm rich. Yeah, I'm not gonna bother soft resetting if I don't catch Kangaskhan. I have so much money. It's gonna be slow if I just waste the time to soft reset. It's what I'm used to doing, to be honest. Oh no, I want to point out that I'm pretty much at the exact same point in Pokemon Red right now as where I'm at in Fire Red, where I just got a little bit burned out. And yes, it's because of the Safari Zone. I'm also catching them all, but doing it Living Deck style in Pokemon Fire Red. And the fun thing about Fire Red is there's not another spot to catch Chansey in, so I had to go catch Chansey in the Safari Zone, and Tauros, and Kangaskhan. And I caught all of them, but oh my gosh, did it take me so long. But once we catch Kangaskhan, it's going to be smooth sailing from here. I'm just going to go catch a bunch of Pokemon. It's going to be a slog when you're hunting rare Pokemon. Kind of miss them, but I think it's more nostalgia. Trust me, it's nostalgia. I'm gonna have to do Safari Zone shenanigans. Let's see. It's not in Gold and Silver, so I don't have to worry about that. But I have the Safari Zone twice over in Gen 3. And it makes its return twice over in Gen 4. 4 more times. And the Safari Zones in Gen 4 are, granted, a lot more interesting. But I would... I gotta do BDSP. That's another one. 5 times over. I gotta do it 5 times. Ah! Yeah, the Gen 4 Safari Zones are more interesting of the rarities. The Great Marsh is a Safari Zone. People count it for Safari Week for shiny hunting, so I'm counting it as a Safari Zone because it works the exact same way. Ah, this cable! Okay. Okay, you switch again. Thankfully, so yes, the Great Marsh. Some of the Pokemon switch around every day, and really the 3 Pokemon you're looking for in the Great Marsh, if you're going to catch them all, and you're not going to bother with eggs, the 3 Pokemon you're looking for are. One of these has an asterisk. Azurill, Krogunk, and Carnivine. I think in Diamond and Pearl, Krogunk is purity in the Great Marsh. Carnivine and Platinum is purity in the Great Marsh. No question about that. But I forget if in Diamond and Pearl, Krogunk is actually to the west of Pastoria, like it is in Platinum. Thankfully, it's just 3 Pokemon you're looking for, and one of them you don't even need to bother with. You can just get the Wave... I think it's the Wave Instance. Well, you can get one of the instances and just breed a Marill and get a Zurill. You can just do that. Carnivine you absolutely need to bother with the Great Marsh for. And... Krogunk, just get west of Pastoria. As for the Safari Zone and Heart Gold Soul Silver, that's customizable, baby! And there are so many Pokemon you can get. Made doubly interesting based on the fact that, like, depending on how long your Safari Zone has been active, it increases the power of the various items in the areas of the Safari Zone you have, which in turn dictates what Pokemon you can find. For example, did you can find Beldum in Heart Gold Soul Silver's Safari Zone? and Larvitar. You can get a Larvitar. Yeah, you can get a Larvitar when you get to Cianwood City. And you better believe when I get to Heart Gold Soul Silver, I'm definitely going to be catching a Safari Zone Pokemon. Yes, I think that's... I already know what sort of gimmicks I'm doing in general around Gen 4. Never knew that? Whenever you play Heart Gold, you should try that. It's a long way off, but when I get to Heart Gold Soul Silver, I'm definitely going to be doing some shenanigans there. Don't reset. You have big money. Just go back in. If I recall correctly, I believe I think I'm playing through Soul Silver, and I'm doing a very fun run with that. I'm very excited for that. In fact, what I may do something a little bit different for the start of that. Just so I can do the thing I want and not have to spend a lot of time on stream getting it set up. It will become apparent when I get there, but that's a while away. For one, I have to get through Generation 3, and Generation 3 is going to take a while. Because I'm playing 5 games for Gen 3. And 2, I don't have a 3DS capture card yet, so Gen 4 and onwards is going to be held hostage until 1, I'm finished with Gen 3, and 2, I get a 3DS capture card. But I think this series is going to pick up, at least when it comes to interesting things with Generation 3. I might actually return to an idea that I had now that I'm smarter and my brain is much larger. And it concerns Ruby and Sapphire. In fact, I may go ahead and do the recordings for that when I go home. I don't know, I'll figure it out. My concerns with Ruby and Sapphire? So, it's Gen 3 in its entirety, but Ruby and Sapphire is... So... The first 3... Really? Again? Why are you like this? Gen 3 in its entirety is just very weird. Like, Gen 1 and 2 make sense for them to be weird because... Well, they were the first 2 generations of Pokemon, but once... the Pokemon Company and Game Freak got a little bit more serious about making games... Pokemon games, and wanted to, you know, revamp things with Ruby and Sapphire. Because I want to point out with Ruby and Sapphire, we got the introduction of abilities, we got a bit of an overhaul with IVs, we got the introduction of personality values. Basically, like, the way that Pokemon works is just fundamentally different than how it works in Generation 2. And they were also trying a bunch of, like, new things. Comparing Ruby and Sapphire to even Fire Red, Leaf Green, or Emerald, I think it's Fire Red, Leaf Green, then Emerald. in Ruby and Sapphire, what is commonly referred to as mystery gifts are referred to as mystery events in Ruby and Sapphire. And the way that it works in Ruby and Sapphire is vastly different than Fire Red, Leaf Green, Emerald, and onwards. If you want a more of a deep dive on that and the inner workings of how mystery events work, I think it's I'm a Bluesky on YouTube. Has a video talking about how mystery events work and the fact that he was actually able to make his own events for Ruby and Sapphire. That gets you versions of events from back in 2001, 2002 that you can actually send on up to modern day games. For example, you can get a Wishmaker Jirachi using these mystery events that I'm a Bluesky made without having to have access to the Colosseum bonus disc. You can do a Jirachi, it's a Jirachi, Deoxys events. You can do a Mew events, a Celebi event, and these all work. You can send them on up to Pokemon Home. You can even shiny on them if you want to, which is really exciting. That's just an example of the shenanigans you can do with Ruby and Sapphire. One thing I've been wanting to show off for a hot minute is for the e-reader, which I actually do have an e-reader. There are several sets of e-reader cards released for Ruby and Sapphire that you can scan them and you get a special trainer that can fight in a certain building in Sootopolis. And their team is set, and some of these are interesting, and I think a couple of them actually have shiny Pokemon guaranteed, and some of them actually you fight legendary Pokemon. And the difficulty of these fights vary from very easy to, oh my gosh, what are we doing here? Part of the reason why that's interesting to me is because my brother actually has all of those. And each pack of those cards, of those e-reader cards, actually came with a special berry that you normally do not see used in the games. An example of one of these berries is the peanut berry. I think that's what it's called. The Nuppy berry, actually. And that is actually the best berry to use when it comes to Pokeblock building. Pokeblock making. So, the fact that I have legitimate access to the best berry in the game. There is one thing that I don't think I'll be able to show off at all, unless I get incredibly lucky. And that's Mirage Island. Like, the only way I can show that off is by forcing it. Which I might could actually do. And that's just Ruby and Sapphire. I want to point out that's just Ruby and Sapphire. There are 4 other games I'd be playing. Like, Gen 3 by itself is incredibly dense. And it only gets denser from there. Like, that's the beautiful thing about Pokemon, is that, like, the further the series goes on, the denser it gets for just a variety of reasons. Like, Gen 4, yes, we have less games I'll be playing. It'll be fun, there'll be more shenanigans to be had. I mean, that's a fun thing. The further I get into this series, the more fun it's going to be. Because I will be showing off as much as I can throughout the generations. Oh my gosh, I thought Tauros was going to take me forever, but no, it's Kangaskhan. I'm halfway tempted to just grab a Kangaskhan I have in Pokemon Stadium and call it there. But oh no, I should catch them all on stream. Yeah, despite the fact that I'll be playing less games for Gen 4 than with Gen 3, Gen 4 still has a lot to talk about as well. Partially because people have restored online functionality. Like, I want to try and convince people to do some online stuff with me, starting with Generation 4. Actually, really with just Generation 4 and 5, because Gen 6 and onwards, I think Pretendo is still working on that, but I don't know if it's up and running quite yet. Oh. Generation 6 and Generation 7. So, X, Y, Oris, Sun, Moon, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. How have we not found a Kangaskhan in a hot minute? We do have the last ad break of the stream coming up in about, what is that, 3-ish minutes? 4-ish minutes? Something like that? Okay. And there will also be significantly less me looking for a rare Pokemon and failing to catch it. Ooh, we get 2 tries right now. The curse is broken. We have a Kangaskhan, baby! Kangaskhan, the parent's Pokemon. The infant rarely ventures out of its mother's protective pouch until it is 3 years old. Oh, that feels so good. Okay, we're gonna look for a Nidoran female now. Which should be significantly easier to catch, at least. And we're gonna do that even when... We're gonna do that up until I'm kicked out of the Safari Zone. Okay, we're doing that when we get back. We can find Nidoran females elsewhere and not have to worry about it running away. But we are done. We are so done. Yeah, the Safari Zone was like, okay, I pity you enough. Here's a Kangaskhan, get out of here. Alright, so I think now we just go around doing some cleanup. Okay, I do need to catch a Pidgey still. Actually, the smart idea would be to catch a Pidgey east of Fuchsia. Which is a higher level and I can just evolve it quickly into a Pidgeotto. What I may actually start doing here is I may start just evolving some of these Pokemon, because for the Pokemon that aren't on my team, I just plan on using rare candies to evolve. Okay, I'm gonna save right here really quick. And then we're gonna go on our ad break. Yep. Alright, and we appear to be back. Alright. Let's work on evolving some Pokemon. Let's fill out some more of this Pokedex really quick. Which means I should probably fly to Cinnabar now that I think about it. I should fly to Viridian first, talk to Old Man, and watch the catching tutorial, and then fly to Cinnabar. Do you have a rare candy, I mean? No, I do not. Okay, so I need to grab one of my rare candies. Nope, I'm gonna say no. Here we go. Oh, hold on. My brain is massive. Wait, hold on. Right, okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We are going to fly back to the Safari Zone. I just remembered a thing. My brain got really big after catching Kangaskhan. So what we're going to do instead... Hold on. Ooh. Which one are you in? I need to go to the right part of the Safari Zone for this. Area 1? No, I think it's gonna be Area 3 then. Yes, it's Area 3, okay. So here's what we're gonna do. We're going back into the Safari Zone. We are going to go to Area 3 and we are going to attempt one round of the Safari Zone to catch a Chansey. And I promise, if we don't catch a Chansey, this is going to be interesting. Actually, I think I can shortcut to Area 3, can't I? Yeah, okay. Shortcut to Area 3. Yeah, okay. We're in the right area. Not super fantastic, but I'll take it. The encounter table for this area is not fantastic for what I want to do. There are more evolved Pokemon in this area in general. Find both Nidorino and Nidorina here, and Venomoth, which isn't really super great for me, to be honest. I'd much rather have the Nidoran female over the Nidorina. But the fact that I can find Chansey 4% of the time here, that's all that really matters. Also, Nidorino is found 3 levels lower here than in Area 2, so... Well, not what I wanted to do, but wasting no Pokeballs, so that's fine. Yeah, because I think I remembered how I actually caught Kangaskhan last time I played Red, and it's very funny. Do I also have my Pokédolls on me? Yes, I have 8. Cool. I may want to get some more, so... Well, there's a chancey. Throwing a Pokeball. Ah, yes! There's a very fun mechanic. The Pokeball missed. This is the only game, Generation 1 is the only generation where you can see the text, the Pokeball missed. And what, I forgot that was everything. Do you want to know why that is a thing? Because there is a reason why that text pops up. If that text pops up, that means that you have 0% chance of catching it. If you throw it and the Pokeball wiggles, that means there is a chance you can catch it. But if it misses, it means that that particular throw, no chance at all. You actually most commonly see that with the legendary birds and Mewtwo. If you're using anything other than Master Ball. The Master Ball can never miss because it's always a guaranteed catch. But like even with Ultra Balls, it can be misses. Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. And actually, fun fact, Chansey is actually not bad offensively speaking in Generation 1. Chansey's stats are so funny. In order from weakest stats to highest stats. Attack, 5. Defense, 5. Speed, 50. Special, 105. HP, 250. No attack, no defense to speak of whatsoever. Slow as molasses. Hits like a truck, specially speaking. And also, because the special stats one stat, takes special attacks like a champ. And with 250 HP, it's not going down from a special attack at all. However, if you punch it, it cannot survive. Chansey is so funny. Which means Chansey is actually a pretty decent counter to Mewtwo. Okay. Now we fly to Cinnabar. I'm gonna move my Pokédolls to my 6th slot. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6. Make sure Lagon's in the lead here. And we surf. Yeah, so the special stat's a very funny thing. Because when Generation 2 comes around, the special stat gets split into special attack and special defense rather than being one stat. And so the special stat you see on a Pokemon in Generation 1 becomes one of the 2 special attack or special defense stats in Gen 2. For Chansey, it has a special defense stat of 105 in Gen 2, which means that's where it's special. That's where the special stat turns into in Gen 2, is special defense. Would you look at that? It's a Chansey. I want to point out, this is a Chansey in the wild. That I'm battling myself. Also, if you want a reason why, yeah, no, I used a Vine Whip, and it did that little damage. I'm in Cinnabar Island. I'm surfing. I found a Chansey. Zorm, you're familiar with Missing No, correct? So there's more to this. So it's a similar sort of idea with Missing No here, except you don't need to encounter. You don't need to talk to the old man and watch the catching tutorial in order to actually do this part of this little bit right here. So this little strip of Cinnabar Island is very weird because it's still counted as Cinnabar Island, but it incorrectly has encounter tables when it's not supposed to. So well, that's not correct. That's not quite correct. It doesn't have an encounter table, but it is marked as tiles where Pokemon can spawn. So what the game does is, in order to determine what Pokemon spawn here, it just looks at the last area of the game where there are spawnable tiles that you can do. You can spawn Pokemon via walking, and it uses that encounter table for this encounter table, as well as throwing in the Pokemon that he gets from the Missing No glitch. Missing No and whatever Pokemon you get based off of your trainer name. Okay, I'm probably good to try and put this to sleep now. The only difference is you don't need to talk to the old man at all. You can do this like without talking to the old man. If you do that, actually, you don't encounter Missing No and the Pokemon associated with the trainer name. Which means that trivia fact I have of what's the only Pokemon in the Safari Zone you have to catch in the Safari Zone, the answer is none of them. I could have done this with Kangaskhan. It is a trick question, correct? Ah, we love trick questions. An unintentional trick question it was a question that sounded like it was going to be, you know, an actual legitimate trivia question. But the answer is none of the above. Which is fantastic. Right, so we caught the Chansey. I need to mark that and Kangaskhan on the tracker. There's Kangaskhan and where's Chansey? There's Chansey. Alright. Right, I need to grab my rare candies. What I might do really quick is I may go back to the Safari Zone and get a different area so I can catch other Pokemon I need. No, I want my PC. Pause an item. Let's put away the Good Rod. I know for a fact I won't be needing that anytime soon. And the TM for Toxic. And the HM for Surf. Don't need those. And the calcium. Alright. Let's withdraw my rare candy. I still am gonna leave the Pokédoll. No, I'm not gonna bother with that. I'm just gonna go straight for. We're done faffing about with glitches. For the most part. Glitching with catching Pokemon. There we go. That's how to phrase it. Yeah, we are now going to encounter Safari Zone Pokemon. the funny thing is, I can now have a decent chance of finding and catching Tauros, but I don't need to. Actually, it might... Would that be the smarter idea? No, I don't think it really matters all that much. Oh, but you know what I could do, actually? No, that actually does the opposite of help. That hurts. Because I believe Missing No and M are both found at level 3 and 0 respectively. Which means Repel actually hurts in this case. So now I'm just running out of the Repel. Lots of setup. There we go. Eggs! I have execute, right? Yes, okay. What's interesting in my opinion is that for some reason Magmar is version exclusive to Pokemon Blue. You would think that the Fire type version exclusive would be, you know, exclusive to the Red game with the Fire type Pokemon on it. But I guess if you pick up Pokemon Red, you're thinking, oh, I'm gonna pick up Charizard as my starter, so why would you need a Magmar? My answer would be, you honestly don't want either. We do need a Paris, so I think I will try and catch this. I mean, it looks like if I were to weaken it a little bit, I would be able to catch it. So I might actually switch over into Cappy here. Partially for the Hypnosis, partially for Headbutt. That's part annoying here. Because now I need to act through... Okay, there we go. Try and get a Headbutt going on here. Don't knock it out, please. Beautiful. That should be Paris. Which we already had. I didn't think I had a Paris. Apparently I did. I don't remember catching it. Yeah, I think at this point, there's nothing from the encounter table that we have right now that I really want. Like, we already have Rhyhorn. Yeah. We have Paris. We have a Nidoran male. I need a Nidoran female, which... I guess I can fly to a route that has that in the encounter table. Let's do that. Because I just need to fly there. I don't think I need to encounter a Pokemon. I'll do that just in case. But that would probably be more worth it than just Talking about Route 22. Okay, I know where that's at. There we go, nice and quick encounter. Now we just fly back over to Cinnabar. I do think it's a 1% encounter on this route, but it's something we need. Oh, it's 5%. Okay, cool. Same chance as finding it in the area of the Safari Zone I was about to go to. Now, I actually am curious about something now. What is the absolute lowest a stat can be in this game? Not base stat, an actual stat after all the calculation. Like, the answer would clearly be attack and defense on Shanxi at level 1, which isn't too terribly difficult to do. Just as a reminder, there is double purpose for me doing this right now. One, I need to find a Nidoran female anyway, so while I'm looking around for a missing node to get all the rare candies I'm ever going to need, I can at least be encountering Pokemon to try and find a Nidoran female. See which comes first. I mean, there is the funny option of... No, I shouldn't do that. Yeah, getting all the hard Pokemon out of the way first seems like the best idea. Like, I don't even think the birds are going to be that difficult. The hardest thing about them is going to be the, like, terrible move pool they have. Like, when you encounter Moltres, despite being level 50, it only has 3 moves. Only 3. Zerm, I need you to understand, Generation 1 of Pokemon is an absolute fucking mess. I mean, for example, I'm encountering Pokemon that you find only in grass and the water. This entire tile set that I'm going up and down on. It feels like the whole game was a success in spite of everything. Oh, well, there's a Nidoran. Cool. Easy catch. So keep in mind, back in 1996, really 98 when the games came out in America, people were not technologically savvy when it came to games and stuff going on, like shenanigans with games. Not people were not as knowledgeable with technology as we are now. And so these games were fine. If you're playing this game just averagely, like I had been up until I got to Fuchsia, these are fine games to sit down and play through. There's not really a whole lot to talk about with them. But once you get Fly, no, that's incorrect. If you know what you're doing with all these glitches and shenanigans, you can do just about anything you want with the game. If you want a showcase of just how insane people can take this game, watch the Pokemon Blue 151 run from, I think it's either Age of the Q or Edge of the Q. If you think what I'm doing is insane, what they do is even more insane. This Nidoran, I'm gonna do a backup thing. Do I have a Spearow? Hold on a moment. I don't have a Spearow yet, do I? No, I do. What am I talking about? I caught Gurren so long ago. I have a Spearow. Alright, I'm gonna save. I think soft resetting is gonna help me out here. Yeah, like the reason why we know as much about Pokemon Red and Blue nowadays is because although games are 30 years old, just straight up. And the ridiculous thing is, I still have the encounter table for, okay. I'm gonna try closing the game out and opening it back up. So give me one moment to do just that. Okay, and we're back. Like there was recently an interview, an entire book put together talking about I forget if it was entirely about Pokemon or if it was just or if it was Nintendo in its entirety. But there's a section of this book that talks about Pokemon Red and Blue and how the coding of the game is such a mess that it should not run. But there is so much coding in the game that interacts with each other, that interacts amongst each other, that cancels it out, that it does actually run. The game should not boot up. Pokemon Red and Blue are the definition of task failed successfully. It really is. The games that literally were a miracle. Okay, I still have that encounter table. There's just no getting around that, is there? Okay, so I'm just... We're gonna go talk to the old man. We're gonna old man it up again. Because the thing actually, if you do turn the game off and back on, you do need to talk to the old man again and watch the catching tutorial. Nope. Ah. I do that every time. Like, there's a very common exploits that I've not really gotten to take use of yet, but I will soonish. Once I evolve my Ivysaur, I can take advantage of an exploit with critical hits. Because fun fact, critical hits in this game are based off your speed stat. Your base speed stat at that. So not even the stat when it's fully calculated, it's the base speed. If you ever play Pokemon Red and Blue and you wonder why some Pokemon are getting crits more often than others, it's for that reason. Okay, there's no way around this, is there? Okay. Can I at least... I'm trying to think. Would it be worth it to go to another route to get some more Pokemon I need? Low-key, maybe. We are getting close to the end of stream though, so I think what I'm doing is just, if I don't get this before the end of stream, I'll just off stream do this missing no glitch. Well, we were close. So remember when I said, when I was talking about the missing no glitch, I included Pokemon based off of your trainer name. Your trainer name dictates based on what certain characters in certain spots, what Pokemon you encounter, and what level you encounter them at. So with the name Kaisen, you can encounter a level 146 Clefable that I do need to use a Pokédoll All to escape from. This one bar, this one sandbar and cinnabar is a miracle. It's a wonder, it's a treasure trove. Oh, there we go. I have a 141 missing no that I think I can still run from. Thank goodness for Pokédolls. Alright, we finally got a missing no to appear, so we can start doing... You've never encountered one? The Cinnabar is so simple. All you need to do is, you get a Cinnabar, you go talk to the old man, watch the catching tutorial, go back to Cinnabar, surf along that little sandbar I was surfing up and down on. It will appear eventually. No, we're not going to change box quite yet. We're going to deposit a neat TP. Then we change box. Box 1. And let's start evolving some Pokemon, shall we? Okay. So the next part of what I'm going to do is, it's going to be another slow tease, but I'm just going to sit here and level up Pokemon with rare candies to evolve them. Once I'm done with all the Pokemon I currently have, I'm going to go back catching Pokemon, and as I catch Pokemon, then I'll be rare candying them up. That is going to be the plan there. I'm going to have to do encounter Missing No a handful of times. Because when you encounter Missing No, it duplicates the item in your 6th slot 128 times. So, we're gonna need a lot of rare candies. Now, I won't be using any of these rare candies on my main team. Only on the Pokemon that are not on the team. Okay, we now have a Eradicate. I'm gonna do a big brain play here. We're going to change box. Box 2. Deposit the Eradicate in there. Withdraw. I need TP. Change box, back to box 1. Pause, I need TP once again. And then start withdrawing again. Okay, so Gengar is fully evolved, don't have to worry about Gengar. Slowpoke is next. Slowpoke is indeed a leveled up, I think it's level 38 if I recall correctly. 37, I was close. Oh, I need to keep an eye on special stats actually. What's the next special stat I need? 82, okay. Which there was no way I was gonna get 82 with Rattata, but I might with Slowbro here. Because Slowpoke evolves like level 37, which is higher than any Pokemon I have on my team. God, I really want to show off a very funny thing with 6. Water gun? Sure, why not? Let's get rid of Headbutt. Won't need that for much longer. And there's number 37 for Slowbro. 82, 96, 126. That's what we're looking for a special stat. There you are. Boop. And then withdraw. You know what? Yeah, sure, why not? Let's get rid of Growl. So 73, not quite. Okay. We just put you away. Next up is Psyduck. Which I think is level 33? I'll find out if I'm correct on 33 or not. Yeah, I'm thinking it might be level 28, I don't know. Is that special stat at? 35, okay. Nothing impressive. Lots of Pokemon get disabled on this generation. Yep, I was right, level 33. That special stat, I don't think it's gonna be high enough. 61, nope. Toss the Golduck. Krabby. I want to say it's just a flat level 30, maybe 32. Yeah, I think for Generation 1 I'm fine doing this. But for later generations, I clearly won't have access to this many rare candies or an expert for this many rare candies. So this is going to be the only generation where I sit down and level Pokemon up like this. Right, I forget. Krabby just learns an Oko move. He just gets guillotined. Ah, it's 28. We now have a Kingler. Krabby just learns guillotine. Which is absolutely busted because in Generation 1, if you use an X accuracy on a Pokemon that knows an Oko move, that Oko move just guaranteed hits. In later generations, the determining factor for if an Oko move actually lands is based off of the user's level versus the target's level. If you match, it is a straight up 30% chance to hit. And for every level higher that you are, the more likely you are to hit. In Generation 1, it's based on speed. Your speed versus their speed. Evolved, 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 evolved. This is going to be just one level on you evolve. We now have a Nidorino. Okay, that's a stone evolution. This is level up. Two levels, we'd love to see it. We now have a Parasect. And it goes. What's next? Rhyhorn. one thing I'm gonna really love about, especially like the later on we get, the more Pokemon you can just catch in the wild. Like, I don't know if I'm throwing in the Let's Go games yet. Or Let's Go, it would be Let's Go Pikachu, because I've already played Eevee. I don't know if I do that. You can catch nearly every Pokemon in the game, evolutions included. Like, there are still version exclusives, yes. But I think you can still get them, is the thing. I believe 2 more levels and Rhyhorn evolves. Yep, there is Rhydon. I think we have how many more Pokemon? 5 more Pokemon to evolve. Yeah. Like the Let's Go games, but you never get good at throwing the Pokeballs. Like, you wish they didn't try to make it. So, playing Let's Go in 2026 doesn't feel super great because the games are definitely made riding off of the Pokemon Go hype. And like the Let's Go games, I think are actually pretty good games for bridging the gap between Let's Go enjoyers and main series enjoyers. Even if it does have like goofy motion controls. Because like it's definitely a more casual game than it is like it's meant for the casual Pokemon enjoyers, not the hardcore Pokemon enjoyers. And that's the thing about the Let's Go games. So I think they're fine in that regard, but playing them as a non-casual, yeah, no. Like even like I say non-casual, I mean someone who's like who's not already a Pokemon fan. And if you are a Pokemon fan, it's gonna be hit or miss. No question about it. Yeah, we need to evolve Red. I'm gonna have to encounter another missing no. I think I may actually catch another. No, okay, hold on. I'm not gonna evolve Rad, I'll just catch a Gloom and evolve that. Okay. Because that's one of the worst rivals of the game. I mean, you're absolutely correct. Like, the rival in Let's Go has no personality. But again, it's meant to be kind of safe in terms of, like, writing. Because it's bridging the gap between typically a non-gaming audience. Like Let's Go came out, what, 2017, 2018? I want to say 2017. Like, I know people who are not gamers who played Pokemon Go. Because they're like, well, I have friends who play Pokemon Go and I want to play games with them. And I can do that with Pokemon Go? Hell yeah. Or, yeah, the Pokemon series is, like, kind of daunting to get into, so, like, having a game that I can play that's Pokemon, but not, you know, a main series Pokemon game where I need to get a console dedicated to it. If you ask me a single adjective to describe Trace, you would say fail. I mean, fair. Like, the whole thing with Let's Go is it's not really story focus is the thing. It's bridging casual to more, because like mechanically speaking, the way that stat growth works in Let's Go is a little bit different from how it works in even that was Gen 7, so that would be Ultra and Ultraman, or even Sword and Shield. How many more do I need to evolve? One more. I need more candies for that one though. You enjoyed it? Just the weirder Pokemon games? Yeah, no, for sure. Alright, so I think because I do need to go get some more rare candies, and we are pretty much at the end of stream anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and end stream right here. I will be back not tomorrow, but Sunday at 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern time. I have just one more Pokemon I'm evolving right now with candies. So once we do that first thing on Sunday, it's gonna be straight to catching and then evolving. I may also go ahead and get the duplication glitch a handful of times to get a massive amount of rare candies, so I don't have to do this frequently on stream. So just doing a couple of little things off stream to prepare for next stream, and that's about it. So yes, I will be back on Sunday with more of this, actually catching a Pokemon next stream. But we did really good this stream. We caught Kangaskhan, we caught Chansey, we caught Nidoran Female. All pretty rare catches. Yes. Let's see if there's anyone I want to raid into tonight. Survey says yes. That's what the notification was. I see. Anyways, with that, good night everyone. See you guys on Sunday. We are raiding in just a few seconds here. Bye-bye.